Hi guys, this is Abhi from Gokcedb. In this video, we are going to learn how to create a stored procedure in the MySQL database. Let's start by looking at the entity relationship diagram. I have 7 tables in my database right now, but in this tutorial, we'll mostly be working on the property and the property underscore status table. Let's run a select query to see what's in the property underscore status table. As you can see, we have 4 statuses: sold on cash, sold on terms, available and listed, available and unlisted. The property table has a property underscore status underscore ID column, which is a foreign key and references the ID column in the property underscore status table. Say we want to update the status of a property. The first thing we need to do is run a select query to see whether the property actually exists in the table. Here we can see that the property name 1 exists, has an ID of 396, and the status ID is 4. Suppose we want to update the status to 3. To do that, use the update table set syntax with a where clause. Looks like it went through. Now let's see how we can accomplish the same thing using a stored procedure. Let's open the SQL file to look at the code. Start by setting the delimiter to $$ so it doesn't interfere with the semicolon, which is the delimiter for regular SQL statements. Next, I'm using the create procedure name syntax with the parameters in parentheses. The in keyword means that the information is passed into the stored procedure. The first parameter is the name of the property, and the second parameter is the new status ID. The meat of the procedure code is written between the begin and the end markers. Use the declare keyword to declare a variable followed by the data type. And use the into keyword to store the output of the select query into the temp variable. Note in the where clause, we're using the user underscore property underscore name parameter, which was passed by the user. Next, we have the if else block. If the temp ID is null, then say no ID found, else say success ID found, and run the update statement. Use the endif keyword to specify the end of the if block, followed by end $$ specifying the end of the procedure. We're also going to set the delimiter back to semicolon. Now I'll be using a MySQL alias where I'm passing the authentication details using a config file. Let's input our create procedure SQL file into the MySQL alias. To verify that the procedure was successfully created, use the show procedure status command. To look at the procedure definition, use the show create procedure name syntax. And to execute a procedure, use the call procedure name followed by the parameters in parentheses syntax. Say I want to update the status of property name 1 to 4. To do that, I'll pass 1 as the first parameter and 4 as the second parameter. Looks like it went through. To verify, let's run a select query. Now say I want to flip the status back to 2. All I have to do is change the second parameter to 2. Watch what happens when I pass an invalid property name as the first parameter. I get an error message saying the ID doesn't exist and the update statement was never executed. Finally, to delete a stored procedure, use the drop procedure name syntax. There you have it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Until next time.